Hello, Hosk here. Today's video is on field level security. I've run through pretty much all the other security kind of functionality in CRM 2013, so this is the last one, and it's also included on the MB2-703 CRM 2013 customization and configuration exam, which is why I want to know about it. This was brought in CRM 2011, probably one of the most requested pieces of functionality, along with auditing, I should think, to be added into CRM. It works well. It's not as intuitive perhaps as other pieces of functionality. You know, mostly in CRM, you can kind of bungle your way through and just use something, and you'll kind of work it out by the time you get to the end of it. But with field level security, it doesn't work quite as you'd expect, I found, and you do need to kind of understand what you're doing before you can sort of get the best out of it. And it has a few little quirks that you need to understand. So to see the field security profiles, firstly you go into settings, administration, then you'll find it here, field security profiles. You'll see there's a default one of system admin, and basically this is system administrator is the magical all-powerful user, and any fields that have field level security will be automatically added to his security profile, and he will have all privileges. And that's the only user role that will get that kind of special. All the others you have to add in yourself. So to add a new security profile, you can do this. So we'll just do so we add our security profile, and then you can add users to it. Now we can't add. It's been added automatically. Huh. So what will happen actually is that it'll add all your security fields you've got already. Usually you'll come here and go, you'll create one and then go, oh, one, I've got no security roles. So, but all security roles are added automatically, but with no values. So they're all no read, no update, no create. So even though you add new field level security, you can't. You have to go in and configure it because they're all set to no to begin with. So here you can see that field level security offers you read, update, and create privileges. That's all it deals with. No deleting or anything like that. So you can either, if you haven't got the read, that means you can't actually see it. If an update, you can edit the field and create. You can put a value in from which had no value before. So create is a user can enter data in the field where he or she creates a record. So really your first step is you can create a field security profile, but you probably won't have many fields in there. So really we should start with what fields are we going to add in to field level security. So we need to go to solutions, choose your solution. Right, we'll go into account and going to fields. Now an interesting thing, so if I choose account number, you'll see that any default fields cannot have field level security applied to them. Now I guess the reason for this is because basically in the default fields and the default entities, Microsoft sort of is expecting values to be in most of those, even though they're not kind of field requirements set to business required. But I think a lot of it does really expect it, like addresses and a lot of values. And I think maybe that there's a danger of some of the kind of default functionality not working if various fields haven't got values in. And basically, by adding field level security, you're kind of stopping users adding data into the system. So I guess that's why. I guess that's why they've not enabled field level security for default records. I mean, and I think this is one of, on Connect. This is one of the requested feature is to allow this. I'm not really sure why. I mean, that's my thought on it. But you've got field requirements. You can set them to mandatory. Business required. It does seem a little bit odd, but that's the way it is. So you can't. None of the default fields. You can't apply field level security to any of them. So only new ones. So let's create a new field. And see here now we can enable this. So we'll do that. Save and close. Go to form. I'm just going to add that on to the form. As you see here now that field level security has a little key next to any fields with field level security. So we'll save and publish. Now if we go back to our field level security profiles, here it is. This is one we created earlier. You'll see now that instantly this has been our new field. Any new fields will instantly get added to security profiles, and this works in a kind of little bit unintuitive. It seems to me that they all get added automatically with no security. Actually, it makes sense totally, because you really want to choose who should have permissions and what permissions you have for each field in a field level security. So but it just seems a bit weird that you have to now go in and edit these. So you click on that, and now you can choose the settings. So you see the settings you can choose here, and now basically this sort of field level, you'll have a lot of different field security profiles, and maybe you'll have different kind of settings. So you may have one where you set the fields to be read only, and then maybe another profile where you have some update status or create, or if you have a lot of fields, you might want one with just all the contact fields set to enabled, so that if you want someone to have access to the sort of field level security on an entity basis, you add them all to the contact one, and it's got that kind of bunch of fields turned on. So you create probably quite a few profiles to manage your field level security. So we've added we've got a profile. First though, I'll show you, so this is my user, he's an admin. I've got another user, Stephen Gerrard, getting ready for the World Cup fever. And he hasn't got anything at the moment. He's a kind of standard user. And so you can see with field level security, because I haven't got read access, I can't actually even see the values in there. And you'll see that it's got a key, field level security, and a padlock here. And they're starred values, so it looks like there's actually values in there when they're actually blank, so you just don't know what's in there at all. So that's what adding field level security is. So this might, generally be some bank details, perhaps an email address, or some kind of important financial information or private information, etc. So that's what it's there. So what we'll do now, perhaps we'll give Mr. Stephen Gerrard privileges to this and see what happens. So go security profile, users, let's add so we've added Stephen Gerrard now to the security profile. So if we have a look again, in this one we said you can read and update that. So now you can also add teams, it's good to know, so that'll basically add them for all the individual users. So now if we go back to Mr. Gerrard, so you can see now that he can see the value and he can update it. Right, I think that is roughly all there is for field level security. There's just a few key facts I thought here. Enabling or disabling field level security by setting the is secured attribute. Basically, is secured, that's when you set the field level security on and off. When you set a field to be in a field level security, it cannot be audited. So that's a limitation there. So you can't, obviously, basically people would be able to view the values of that field through the audit kind of history, even if they weren't a member. So that's why you can't audit those fields. A system administrator has special privileges. He's got a special security profile, and every field is added with everything set to yes. Now that's by default. By being a member of the system admin, I think you can add other members. Yeah, so you can actually add other members to the default team for that. And we can remove them as well. Okay. Back over here. Every field for field level security is added. So every time you add a field enabled for field level security, is added to all security profiles, and it's added with the values all set to no. So basically, when you add a field level security, only person who can see it to begin with is system admin, because you need to go in to your field level security profiles, set the status, like the create, update, and read to be yes for the ones you want, and then add the users to that security profile before anyone else can see it. Asterisks are shown if the user does not have read access to the field. Asterisks are shown even if the field is null or blank. You cannot delete the system administrator field level security profile. And finally, I mentioned it before, but you can only set field level security on custom fields. Now you can set it on custom fields on default entities, custom fields on custom entities, but you cannot do it on the default fields. Right, I think that's about it. I'll wrap up there. Don't forget to look at my other videos on the MB2-703 certification